Oh, God damn it. We blew another one.
Another week.
Yeah.
Should be 4-0.
Yep. Kind of expected this game. It was kind of a trap game.
Yeah, I mean, you called it, right? I mean, it could be definitely a trap game. So, it was.
Yeah,
it happened.
Yeah, it's kind of... They followed the keys to the game. I don't...
Yeah.
I mean, they shut down Cordell.
Yeah. He's now on IR, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Cordero
Patterson, yeah.
Cordero Patterson. They shut down Kyle Pitts and they shut down Drake London.
And they still lost.
And they still found a way to lose. You ran the ball.
Nick Chubb looked good.
19 carries, 118 yards, and a tutty.
That's very good.
Brissett was iffy, but still had the most passing yards of the season so far by him. It's just a weird game. The defense was, they came out shaky on the first drive, and then they made a stop and forced a field goal, which is exactly what you want out of your defense. Kind of the bend, don't break. And then they get the ball back almost immediately off an Njoku fumble.
Yeah.
And they're just gifted great field position.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like one or two plays. And I always say it, one or two plays, man, really turned the tide of an entire game. And that was one of them.
Yeah.
And that's without that, I mean.
But luckily, the Browns were able to recover before halftime. They definitely left some points on the board.
First drive?
First drive, I'll say this. I'm not upset that they went for it on 4th and 3, but I will question their approach to it. You have all these linemen, and we've had multiple times at the 1 yard line that you put a fullback, you put another offensive lineman in there, and it's worked all year. But they went with a single back Chubb out of a 3-point stance. I mean, it looks pretty, but it's like, they got too cute. And then running 2 pass plays out of it looks stupid. Like, you had nothing open. You're sending out an offensive lineman and 3 tight ends. And they were in man coverage, so it's not like anybody's going to magically get open.
Yeah. In that close of space.
So their goal line offense, it's like Stefanski gets in this rut of trying to look too pretty at the goal line. I don't know why you just don't run it straight up the middle 3 times, 4 times. I don't care. You're going to get in one at a time. You got 2 of the best backs in the league.
I agree. Yeah.
I questioned why we didn't see more of Kareem Hunt. The last few games you've seen Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb in the backfield at the same time. You didn't see any of that this week. I really do think this game boiled down to coaching again. And it really seems like that's the trend this season, whether it's defense or offense. I think this game was probably Stefanski's worst play calling game of the season so far. I don't really think they put him in a good field position. It's kind of like the thing from last year. Instead of starting, the first 2 drives having positive yards, it was like you're putting yourself in a rut and you're looking at a 3-8 or 3-7. And with a quarterback like Jacoby Brissett, you can't really put yourself in that position.
Well, and they put themselves in that position with the sack and the penalty in that last drive. And it's like, hey, Jacoby, it's 3rd and 20.
Yeah.
Get us in the field goal range.
Yeah.
You got to play to do it. What do you say about that? You know what I mean? It's certain things. I mean, that just can't happen. It boils down to 1 or 2 plays, and play calling definitely was an issue.
Yeah, it was.
I think the biggest issue, honestly, though, and was, I mean, we didn't have 3 or 4, our defensive ends. Our defensive line was decimated. And you could really see what our team looks like without Miles, without Clowney, without them both on the field. It's a huge difference, and it really is day and night. So
yeah, I mean, and you take away a lot of the depth that was on that team.
Yeah.
With Miles.
Yeah.
This is their 3 and 4 guys out there.
Yeah, the rotational pieces are the starters.
So they're playing most of the game, where Miles and Kalani, they're eating up at least 75% of the snaps. And then you have these guys coming off the sidelines fresh. Well, there was nobody fresh.
Yep.
And you've seen it on the last drive where they just completely ran the ball all over us.
Yeah.
And it's because they were gassed.
They're not even the starting running back.
So. Yeah. So it's one of those tough games because it's one that you can't really get upset about because you know what you were going into. I mean, we know what we're getting into when the season started. Like, okay, you have a backup quarterback that's not going to take that many risks. You had this week, your best player was out with the injury, and then your second pass rusher's out, and let alone your starting defensive tackles out, and your starting middle linebacker. So, I mean, looking at that, I'm not saying that would have ended up being a good result for the Browns defense, but it definitely would have helped. There's multiple occasions that they could have gotten a sack instead of letting Mariota roll out and just find someone.
And that would have changed the tide. But,
on the good side, they pressured him on 45% of the snaps. I think they had like 12 pressures out of every drop back. I think there was about 20. So, I mean, 12 out of 20 on a drop back pass. That's pretty damn good. Given what you had a sack out of that. It really looked like the defense locked up after they gave up that second drive. But it's like they looked like that in every game. They tighten up. They look really good for a little bit, and then once that fourth quarter rolls around, it's like they just deplete.
Yeah.
But just to wrap up the game is that final drive. I think it was Jacoby looked really shaky. You can't take a sack. But then again, I really feel like he didn't have much time on that.
He had like 3 seconds at most.
Grady Jarrett made a hell of a play, and the offensive line did a great job on Sunday, but it was like that was the one play he got out, So it's you win some battles, you lose some, and it happened to be that play. But you get a 3rd and 18. You need to get to the 40, and you send everybody downfield. That, I think, Jacoby played outside of his game and forced one downfield into double coverage.
Yeah, you don't see that much, but it happened.
I think a lot of people are pointing to this. Mary Kay Cabot also pointed at this, and Jimmy Donovan, is that there was a little hook there to Dearness Johnson, and you get him the ball, he's got one guy to beat, and he can at least get to the 40-yard line, if not get the first down, which was at the 30-yard line. There's a lot of space there, and at least give your kicker a shot to tie the game.
Yeah. And after that sack and that penalty, we couldn't do nothing. What do you want?
It was
70-yard.
It was almost like a replica of the Jets ending like our last drive. Yeah. It's like you look good getting downfield. You got to midfield, and you're like, oh, okay, we're gonna get in field goal range, and we're gonna win this game, or at least tie it. And you just needed one play to get in the field goal range. And he just forced it. That's basically what it boiled down to. You just hate to end a game like that on a pick because it really takes the game out of your hands, and you know you left time on the you left time on the clock.
Yeah, almost a minute, right?
Yeah, you had an opportunity to go tie that game.
For sure.
So I can't put this one on Jacoby because it's I feel like it was more so play calling again.
Yeah, that third down and 20 could have been a different look for
Yeah.
sure.
Too many. Let's throw it downfield on 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10. Like it. I get it. I get it. You want to try to get the ball downfield, but it was like you're not even in.
It's not the time to look flashy. It's time to really get those 10-yard gains.
You got the
gains.
best back in the league.
Yeah.
Go turn out at least 4 or 5 yards before you do that.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Moving on to this week.
We play the Los Angeles Chargers, and
It's still weird to say.
yes, and Justin Herbert. Well, the Chargers coming in this week looking 2-2.
Yep.
They fumbled the bag against the Jaguars about 2 weeks ago.
Because football's weird.
And then
Football's weird.
They played Houston this past week and beat the brakes off them. But the Chargers are a little banged up. Justin Herbert's got some
Bruised cartilage in his ribs, and so that's didn't seem to play an issue last week, but it's definitely gonna affect him slightly. I mean, his throwing motion is a little bit off, and I think the biggest piece outside of Justin Herbert, in my opinion, is no Joey Bosa.
No Joey Bosa.
So that's huge. They still have Khalil Mack, which is arguably neck and neck with Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
But
So they're gonna lean on to Khalil Mack on Sunday to do all the pass rushing.
yeah.
And another injury, we'll probably figure out this week is Keenan Allen. Their heart and soul of their offense, I think, outside of Eckler. Definitely a key weapon.
Yeah.
We better pray and hope he doesn't play because
Yeah.
he eats us alive every time we play him.
Well, another person that eats us alive, especially last year, is Mike Williams.
Oh.
I mean, that was ridiculous last year. I mean,
I'd hope he can catch the ball when he runs wide open for 30 yards.
yeah, no, seriously. Like, this team last year, I mean, it was a shootout. What was it, 45-38 last year? Browns lost.
It was
Herbert.
48-45.
Okay. It's, their team's good, man. It's the Chargers. They do fumble and, do a bunch of weird things throughout the season that have their records always worse than they actually are, but they're a very good team.
They're a good team, but it's a team that I believe we could beat even with the team we have.
Yeah. Well, you've seen it where they show up and they don't show up. It's happened. So, like I said, football's weird. So, who the hell knows? It could be one of those weeks that they're just like,
Right.
So, I don't know. It's, at the end of the day, if, say, Clowney's back, that will be huge. Garrett's back, huge. Both of them back would be incredible.
I think we get both of them back this week.
I agree. I think that's a good possibility, and that'll be huge, obviously. And you never know. I mean, one sack could obviously disrupt the game, let alone re-bruise the ribs, which then their back would come in. So, you never know what would happen. We just got to play it safe, though. They got a lot of. Eckler's one of the best check down running backs I believe in the league. He's awesome. He's explosive, and he's small, so he's tough to get. And
slippery fucker.
Yeah, he really is. And they got two, in my opinion, two of the best receivers in the league. I think they're not even the best receivers. So they're just so well connected to their quarterback. So I think that's huge. So yeah, if Keenan Allen does play, that's a pretty big area in which we need to focus. So yeah, I think the defense really needs to step it up this week and not let plays slip by, because this team is one of those teams that will absolutely torch you if you do.
Yep.
Yeah, you saw it last year. That you've seen it pretty much every game. I guess this year with the Browns. So that's a huge factor that we need to really look for. So.
Yep. I think they gotta, because this is a team that will take advantage of your errors.
Absolutely.
I mean, this isn't the Atlanta Falcons where you're gonna get away with, blown coverages and.
Yeah.
I mean,
this isn't Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
This is the highest. This quarterback has the highest passing yards in the entire NFL. So.
Yeah. So definitely got to clamp down on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like we're just gonna repeat ourselves again with the keys to the game. Bring pressure on Herbert. Play really tough coverage, and then run the damn ball.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty repetitive, right?
Repetitive. This is another game where you have to control the game on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Keep the ball out of their hands. Keep that defense on the field.
Eat the clock.
Run the ball, and put points on the board.
Yeah.
Don't get too cute.
And the thing is that you don't get cute. I mean, you don't have the team to be cute.
All right.
Do what you need to do to get some points.
All right. I mean, we need to be this hard-nosed team that gets it done, even if it's in an ugly way.
I don't care. Be uglier the better, as long as we win.
You gotta run the hell out of the ball. I mean, they gave up 9 yards per carry against the Houston Texans,
and that's the Houston Texans. So let's go.
It's you got the best back in the goddamn league. You better run the ball. I mean, look what they did to him last year by running the ball. They had 2 running backs on 100+ yards.
Yeah, Nick Chubb went off against the Chargers last year.
Kareem.
And you're looking at it and it's their defense is very subject to giving up a lot of big plays on the ground.
Yeah.
And especially the run stuffer, Joey Bosa, is not playing. So, I feel like we can see another massive game by those two. I think it will happen. So, let's do it, man. I think the game plan, obviously, like you said, is to just run the ball. I hope a lot more checkdowns. Yeah, don't try to just throw a ball downfield. Don't run. The play calling needs to be on point. Don't make plays where your closest receiver is a dude 15 yards down. It's not Jacoby's game. Play to the strengths. So. I don't know. What are you thinking about? You mean that was your Royal Donuts, or you want to do a little?
That's the Royal Donuts.
That's I figured.
It's no point of just it's gonna be like that in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You got a tough stretch of games, and honestly, if they give you lemons, you got to make lemonade, because it's gonna be very tough the next couple of weeks. You got the Chargers and the Patriots back-to-back games at home.
Yeah.
And then you head out to Baltimore. And then you come back, you play on Halloween against Cincinnati. And then you have a bye week.
And then it's rough.
And then you're in Miami. And then you go to Buffalo. And then you come back home to Tampa Bay. And after that, you get Deshaun back. So hopefully they can at least get Deshaun in a good position to make a run at the end of the season by giving him at least 4 games, 4 or 5 games would be enough.
At least 4 games. I mean, you got to get more than 4 games. I mean, I really hope so.
I hope they can at least win 2 out of the 7.
I know.
I really hope they can at least win 2 out of the 7.
I think if we get 5, I'll be that's what you need. You need 5. Okay, you need 5 games. 6 games, yes, absolutely. Ideally, I'd want 6 to 7. That's really pushing it.
I mean,
they very pushing it.
They went 2-2 with the easiest part of the schedule. And it wasn't even because the offense was playing bad, which is what the concern is.
It's concerning. Because even if you have Deshaun and he plays lights out, who the hell knows what the defense is going to do?
And it's like you have your the whole point of your offense is to run the ball, and they're getting like 120 yards a game.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And you're still losing.
You're still losing. Like, dude, what is going
and
on?
It's all last second stuff.
I know.
So.
Like most of the time, like this is what I look like when I'm watching some of these games. What? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. Confusing. Cowtail number 1. It's Chunt for sure. Obviously.
Kareem and Hunt.
Those two motherfuckers definitely gotta turn up. So let's go. Those guys obviously are huge factors, and the basically the life of this entire team, especially the offense. So they gotta do they gotta do each other. Just cut that out.
No, leave it on.
All right, but they seem to play well, man. Do their thing like they did last year, like they've been doing all year.
Cream and Hunt. That's what they got to do. Cream and Hunt. While you got a chub.
Jesus Christ.
Wordplay.
What are you feeling?
And I think my cowtail goes to Greg Newsome II.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You haven't really heard his name called that much, which is
surprising.
That's a good thing. But I'd like to see more out of the secondary.
Obviously.
Honestly, I think they had a pretty good game on Sunday.
Yeah.
It wasn't the back end that lost us the game. Sure, they had a player or two that was like, oh my God, like how do you let that happen?
Yeah.
Like, okay, there was a little dump off that Mariota had, rolls out left, cross body, leaping, throws a duck wide open to Zacharias.
What a name.
Yeah. What? But they were in zone coverage, so it's like, okay, like that's coaching again. What do you do to beat zone coverage? You run crossing routes. Like you find an open spot in the zone, and man, did he find an open spot. Like, I'm talking like there was 15 yards front and behind him. Like, it's just like he ran across, and the linebackers were here, and everybody else was down here covering people. So it was either the linebackers were playing too short, or the DBs were playing too far back. But if you go look at it, the DBs looked like they were where they're supposed to be. So, yeah. I'm looking on the secondary to make a big game. They got a lot of speed and weapons on the outside. You got to shut down Eckler, and you got to shut down Mike Williams. Yeah. He will eat you alive. And God forbid if
Keenan Allen
plays, you better be on your best game, like your best behavior.
Yeah,
best game you got.
But you need to, because especially if Keenan Allen is in, I mean, you gotta imagine Denzel's gonna be on him, and then that fits right in with Greg Newsome.
Oh well, also to add that we possibly might be getting the greedy one back.
Yeah, he got taken off IR, so that's good.
Yeah, well, we don't know how much that means, but hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, he's just started practicing, so I doubt he'll play this week. Maybe
it's a roll of dice, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see if Bleacher Report said anything.
Yeah. I guess if I would go with this last cowtail here, it's Kevin Stefanski. Gets this one.
Fucking idiot.
He just needs to play within his wheelhouse. Just put your players in a good role. They fit in.
How about let's give it to the coaching staff in general.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because then that's leaving out Joe Woods for sure.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let's just...
How does that man still have a job?
Stefanski or Joe Woods?
Joe Woods.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
They've given up 50 points in the fourth quarter.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that stat. That's very concerning. Yeah, I if we were to dive into this, I mean, just real quick, I mean, I don't see him being here next year.
I don't know how
if this continues.
I really have a hard time seeing them making it midway through the season.
And that's my only concern is like who the hell they're going to bring in. I mean, do you think that we have anyone on staff that could step in and do a better job? I don't know. So.
Well, I mean, maybe it's better. Like I said, it's play calling.
See something fresh. I don't know. We've dealt 3 years of this of just like what these weird fourth quarters that we just don't care anymore. We just totally give up and play like cover 3. like it's
We're just gonna give up everything underneath and have all these guys that can't tackle and
and it's like, dude, it's like you got 15 minutes left of this game. What are you doing? Like, oh yeah, it's just a 15-yard play. Stack like 4 of those together, they're gonna touchdown. Like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, that needs something different. So, yeah, I guess the whole coaching staff really just divide this one, and hopefully you enjoy it.
Yeah, I kind of. No, I just want to make a point here too. They are definitely missing Anthony Walker. Yeah, you could see it on
Jacob Phillips looked a little concerned out there, man. He was very like.
I mean, he made a really good play at the end of the game to force a field goal. But it's like these linebackers, man. They other than I think it really comes down to him is that they don't know how to get off blocks. It's like everybody was getting blocked and there was nowhere. Like, no one was getting off a block. It was insane. Like, you had 5 or 6 people on your front 7. It was insane. It really was.
Yeah.
Every person was marked.
Yeah. And I'll say it, man. It's just the word for the defense is concerning.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I can't stress it enough, man. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully you get fixed soon. How do you feel about your prediction for this week?
Oh.
Yeah. My feeling as well. All I gotta say is football's weird. So I don't know. No one ever knows.
I'm taking a safe bet. I'm going 24-13 Chargers.
Yeah, it is a safe bet. Do you know what the over/under is right now? As I'm gonna give my prediction, I'm gonna say 27.
Dude, you were spot on last week. I think. Oh no, you said 27-24.
Something like that.
It ended up being 23-20.
Yeah. I'm gonna say 27-16.
All right, so they're giving
Chargers.
They're giving Chargers 3 points. The over/under is 47.5.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, 27-16 Chargers. But like I said, football's weird. You could be surprised. Who the hell knows if they just do their job and show up. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Till next week. Yeah. As always. I always think, why am I a Browns fan? But I do it every week, every year. And it'll continue that way. It sucks. I love it, though.
I don't know why I love it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Hey, but we got a team in the playoffs this week. Cleveland Guardians.
Hey,
hold on.
True.
And then we got the cast starting tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Go Browns.
Appreciate it.